good morning. As I untangle my headphones, you hear music playing in the background. That is from Starbucks, not from me. Whether you guys can hear it. I know you're probably at work and stuff like that, but this is bird for taken out of context. I'll be on a few timers during the day as I get some stuff done. It is actually a beautiful sunny day. I'm going to show you. This is what I see outside. The sun is bright and beautiful. Darren Hubbard, if you can hear me, give me a what's up. So you see, for some reason, Starbucks decided to play like dance hall hits, like 98 or 99 or whatever. That's what you guys are hearing in the background. Hopefully you're not offended by the soundtrack of the morning, but that is what Starbucks is playing this morning. So I had the headphones out so you could actually hear it, but I had claimed no rights to this music. It's just playing in the background. When they've really gone through the Reggae Gold catalog. So Darren, how are you? This is a quick one, part of my headphones. Okay, headphones are on. Last night was the State of the Union. I'm not sure how you guys felt about it. I'm not even sure if everybody watched it, you know? But there's lots of commentary going around. Trump will never be conciliator in chief. He stayed on script for the most part, and staying on script kept him out of trouble. He was supposed to be conciliatory, he was supposed to be trying to unify. He essentially was saying, you know, the time is not ripe for you to take revenge. And I took that as taking revenge for the things he said and done, but to move forward. And to be honest, considering that he's playing to an audience, the audience he's playing to, it went really well. I'm considering that there's a large housewife contingent that loves President Trump and helped put him in. I think they were heartened by the speech, and I think that he really spoke to his base. I think he still thinks he's going to get the wall, but I don't think so. The fact that he stuck up for people who are pro-life, and the fact that he was willing to speak to what they want, I think that was pretty good on his part to stand up. And he called out New York for late-term abortions. So I think he really said what he ought to do. He gave his party like 30 applause breaks. But as far as anything substantive and new, I didn't see anything. So I'm not sure how you felt about it. If you have an opinion, let me know. Do you feel that this was really a paradigm shift in Trump, or just Trump? Basically, he created these problems, and now he's touting himself as the person to solve them. But he's the one that started these problems. Hold on one second. So that's the situation. Bye-bye, Jackson. Bye, my dear. So yeah, it was one of those things where I think that as speeches go, it was long. On substance, I think it was short. I think he tried to actually co-opt all of the women who were wearing suffragette colors and ran for office basically because they were anti-Trump. Was pretty interesting. What I've come to find out is that whenever you go on a live stream and stuff, the most uninformed and just incredibly loyal to Trump happens to be his middle American white female fan base. They just seem to be fiercely loyal to him, even more loyal than the frat boys and everything else. And trying to upend him from them is going to be difficult. It's going to cause a problem. But other than that, I thought that Stacey Abrams' rebuttal speech was awesome. I think Stacey Abrams has a future as a nationwide politician. If a Democrat does win, if she decides not to run, that, you know, she might try to run for the Senate, which is going to be difficult in Georgia because no matter what you do, Georgia is still Georgia. But I think that she'll have a shot. But also I think she's setting herself up for different posts inside an upcoming administration. There's lots of things that I'd have to look at more of her policy to see where she fits. But maybe a HUD appointment, maybe some commissionership or some cabinet level post, or chairman of the Democratic National Party, chairman of the party, would be very interesting to see if that happened. As far as Bernie Sanders rebuttal, pardon me, just more of the same. Just more of the same of Bernie being Bernie. I'm not saying that his message is bad or anything, but it's just the same message. There was nothing new in the things that he was saying. It doesn't mean the thing he's saying was boring or wrong, but it's just, that's what it is. Bernie Sanders is pretty straightforward out there. Today we might find out, or this week before Friday, if Beto O'Rourke is running, and I'm not sure how Beto will do nationwide. Again, this is 19, ramping up to 2020. We'll see what happens. I think what's going to really tell for President Trump is what happens while he's in Vietnam, when he goes to Vietnam to meet with North Korea and probably with China. Hopefully by then he won't once again be overmatched and embarrass the country. We'll see what happens with that. So I think the positives were reaching out to the right to life section of the Republican Party, the Christian right, and letting them know that they have a champion in them. Whether or not you agree with it or not, he energized his base with that. That got the most applause from everyone, a high rating of applause, so we'll see how that works out. The idea of, I don't really see where else, I'm trying to find another place where he really said anything new. I don't really see anything else new that he said. Mindy Morgan, Darren Hubbard, thank you for tuning in real quick during your busy day. I think Ocasio-Cortez, what's coming out is that no matter how much they try to point her as an uneducated socialist Democrat, she's a good spokesman for that part of the Democratic Party. And I found her rebuttal interviews and stuff like that to be, as usual, she is polished beyond her years, although I think she was 29 years old. She's polished above her years, and she is she's a lightning rod, and she seems to be built for all the things that she attracts to herself. So I found her rebuttal to stay on book. She stayed on task, and she was very good. And again, I think Stacey Abrams is setting herself up for national office or her Senate run in 2020, whenever the Senate seat is up. So yeah, I thought it was a very interesting speech. Of course, it led to some incredible stand-up material last night. I was amazed by how good the late night hosts were in their just quick reactions to the things that were said. And especially Stephen Colbert going live right afterwards, and Seth going live and stuff like that. Kudos to those guys, man, they did a really great job. We'll see what happens now. I've been out in the road this morning, so I haven't seen any of the reactions on television or checked Twitter or anything else. So I thought that it was probably the best possible speech Trump could have given, unless he really turned around and acknowledged Nancy Pelosi, acknowledged the House and stuff like that. And it's the best you can expect from him. I mean, an hour and 40 minutes for somebody his age to stay up there and stay on task, that's amazing, man. The fact that he stayed on task that long was a beautiful thing. So I think that was pretty cool. But as far as changing anybody's minds or making friends across, we'll see what the Twitter storm is this morning, what the tweet storm is, if he's actually going to stick to the things he said he was going to do. I, for one, think that he's going to go back to tweet Trump as soon as possible. But I do think he spoke to his base. I'm saying it for the last time if you guys are just tuning in. Here's a quick, I'm going to do a bunch of little broadcasts today inside my meetings and then string it all together in the evening. So this is just the first one of the day. Yeah, he could have done much, much worse. He could have strayed off topic and meandered through his speech, but he didn't, pardon me. He didn't. And it was probably the best you can expect. There wasn't anything earth-shattering in there. Darren, how are you? Darren, man, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you, Darren, for tuning in. So yeah, I'm not sure if he could have done any better. Devon, how are you? It's the best thing that Trump could have done was to come in like that, make this statement, the best thing he could have done. Somebody else could have come in and really said, the rhetoric, the fiery rhetoric of the past needs to be replaced by conciliation, by cooperation, and by us all working together to advance the United States of America. That would have been a beautiful thing to say, but that's kind of above his mental level. That's, kind of out of his league. I don't think, and also I'm not sure if the people who wrote the speech for him, which could be, I don't know who, but I don't think they were trying to reach that point. They weren't trying to really reach across the aisles that much, because division keeps them in power. You got to understand that that's one of the reasons why you have this division. It keeps the people in power. Right, so when you take a look at this, tell me what you thought about the State of the Union speech last night. Did it change your mind? Again, I'll say it didn't change anything. I'm still looking forward to Trump being voted out of office in 2020. However, I did think it was hilarious, the whole idea that if you indict me or try to put me out of office, it's going to tank the economy, which is essentially saying you can't have the truth and a strong economy, which goes to why he's a horrible businessman. And no offense to all my friends out there who do real estate, I don't consider a real estate developer on the same level as someone who's been a CEO of a different type of company. But, just the different idea of dealing with deals where everybody has something to bring something to the table and you have to make compromises. And that's not Trump's strength. Compromising is not his strength. It's a problem. So that was about it. And the whole idea is that I would love to see these 17 different investigations wrap up. Everybody would. And I want the indictments to come down. I want us to roll through this process. I honestly tell you that unless there's a true smoking gun, he'll go through impeachment, he'll survive if it goes that far. He won't be censured or anything else like that, and his presidency won't go on, but it'll stop him from being reelected. And then we'll have, on the Republican side, I'm not sure who else is going to run, but you're definitely going to have, Pence will probably run, Mitt Romney will run, I'm not sure who anybody else is. Who knows, maybe a moderate Republican who can reach across the aisle and put things together might win. Because, the Republican base, what's going to happen is people are going to think Trump is being attacked. They're going to look at an attack on Trump as an attack on them. So you can say white middle American males will defend and vote Republican because any attack against Trump, they're going to view as a personal attack against them. They're going to personalize it. And they're going to circle the wagons no matter how bad it gets. So believe it or not, even if you impeach him and he survives, it's going to energize his base to try to keep him in or try to keep Republicans in office. So this election cycle should be very interesting. I'm looking forward to see how it plays out. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. This is Bert for Taking Out of Context. This is an early one. In between meetings, so I just decided to say something. Also, while I have my voice, I've been dealing with bronchitis. Thank you guys for your kind words. Taking Coricidin and an inhaler and all that kind of stuff, trying to fight my way through this has been interesting. But it is a beautiful day here in New York, and I do feel energized. I don't feel much better. Physically, I'm still going through it. No sleeping at night because the coffee keeps waking me up and stuff like that. But it's such a beautiful day out, that I feel energized, and hopefully something good's going to happen to me on the business front today. All right, so Darren, Devon, Londa, thank you guys for tuning in. If you get a chance to watch this during the day, just take a look at it, and please comment. What did you think about the State of the Union last night? All right, so I love you guys. This is the first broadcast of the day for Bert Hubbard and Taken Out of Context, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.